Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Dk1original coming at you from the exact same location. Different background, but don't mind it, I'm still at the exact same place. So last week I said that I'm starting a new series on my channel, and I introduced it last week, and this week I'm getting into the first part of it, which is dating, right? Because I think we tend to not forget, you can't forget it because maybe you don't know it, but we tend to overlook the importance of dating right before you get married. Okay, so I didn't date a lot when I was younger, and I started dating, like, probably my ex-husband was like one of the few people that I actually dated like seriously and long term. And I think when you grow up in a church setting there's a lot of variants that play a role in how you view dating. Okay, so when I went into dating, the first mistake that I made was I told myself and I convinced myself that the next person I date is the person that I am going to marry. And because I made that statement, I overlooked a lot of red flags during my dating phase because I was determined and I had said to myself, the next person that I date is the person that I'm going to marry. And I was so hectic on it that even when I would see things that were like really, really terrible and really, really bad, and like not even red fucking flags, like just screaming at me like this, I would just be like, we're going to fix it, we're going to pray about it. We're going to pray about it, we're going to fix it, I'm saying? This is a man of God, we can't, we're going to make it work. So, in the beginning, I mean, listen, in the beginning, I was just like, first of all, I think it's important to understand that in the beginning, this man had my attention. You understand me? His pursuit of me was like nothing I had ever experienced before. And I will include a little bit of letter to my ex here and what I meant in that. His pursuit of me was like nothing I had ever seen before. I mean, he wooed me. He went above and beyond, and child, he made sure that like I got all the attention, calls. He would walk from home to make sure that he walks me from school. When I tell you the pursuit, he would call me, he would do whatever it took. Let me tell you something, he was like Superman to me. You understand? And I had never experienced that before, like from any guy that I was necessarily like pursuing or whatever. So like I was taken aback. I was like, what? Right? And so the first year was just like out of this world, magical, like Mads could do nothing wrong. We spoke on the phone constantly. We spent a lot of time together. Like, he was like a gifter. He was, oh my gosh, he paid attention to detail. My goodness. He was a poet. He's so good. He's not there. He's a poet. He is so good with words. Oh my goodness. Like, when I tell you I was wooed, I was swept off my feet. I was like, yes, sir. You got my undivided attention. And literally, like my undivided, guys, my undivided attention. Like literally, I was not even seeing any other person. And there were other people pursuing me at the time, but I was like, I couldn't even see them. I was just so taken by this man, And I wasn't easy to date. I thought I put challenges up for him. I was like, you need to talk to the pastor, you need to talk to my leaders, and he did it. If you grow up in a church setting, when those kind of things happen, you're like, oh. And my thing was, I was pursuing purity so much that I was like, I'm not even looking to date. I had read this other book, I Kissed Dating Goodbye, and that book had got it in my head, and I was like, this is it. I'm done with dating because of the damage that it does to you. I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to get my heart broke. I don't want to do I don't want to do none of that. I want to make sure that I present myself to my husband as a whole. I want to present myself to my husband as a whole. I want to make sure that I preserve myself in every aspect. Listen to me, because you can't even be kissing no man. You can't be giving them nothing. I want to make sure that he gets the best out of me. You know? I will get into why, especially as Christians, we need to let that kind of mentality go. Because when it comes to dating is seeing if the person is compatible with you. You are allowed to walk away from somebody that you are dating. You are allowed to. But I trap myself with this unreasonable expectation where I was like, the next person that I'm gonna date is a person that I'm gonna marry. I was 18 years old. I had no business making such a permanent decision. But I was convinced. I was like, I prayed on it. I was convinced. And you need to understand, I think the problem that we make as Christians, as children of God, is that we put this thing in ourselves. We don't necessarily understand it. Let me not speak for other people, but that's what I did. I put that thing on myself. And I was like, the next person I date, that's it, curtains, wrap, like ain't nobody else. Anyway, so I put that thing on myself, And anyway, we started dating. I think I was 18 going on to 19 at the time. We the same age, me and my ex, so yeah. And I remember I already asked him quickly in the beginning of our dating thing, what are your intentions with me? And he was like, I obviously want to get married. And as a Christian girl, that made me very excited. It made me very excited because I was like, you see, this one is serious. This one is not even just playing around. He's serious. Listen, marriage. 18. Marriage. Okay, cool. Whatever. We started dating. Everything was cool. The first year was really great. The second year, that was the first time I saw a red flag. Not even a red flag. Like, I should have walked away. I knew that. Like, I know that now. But I think I somehow convinced myself that it's not that bad. He was giving a lot of attention to somebody else. I didn't like it. I mentioned it that I didn't like it. And I remember there was a day we were walking together and I said, you know what? If you are going to give this girl attention, then you can't have my attention. And I was trying to break it off. This man begged me not to break it off with him. Said, DK, no, don't do that. And I think looking back now, and this is so important to understand, if you as a person are not whole, if you as a person are lacking something in yourself, if you as a person have not yet learned to love yourself fully, you will accept bare minimum, you will accept excuses from other people, you will accept things that don't even make sense to you, but you will accept that somehow, and you will want it to make sense because you want it so bad, right? And I accepted it and I moved on to it, and I ignored so many other red flags. I don't want to get into it. There were so many other red flags that I ignored, you know what I'm saying, with whether it was time, it was whatever. Like, ladies and gents, I want to let you know, leave at the first red flag. Because what you don't realize is that you're actually damaging something in yourself when you choose to ignore those things and you want to suppress that thing in you that is telling you to leave, and you suppress it and you try to convince yourself that it's going to get better. Don't do that, because you are killing yourself and you are hurting yourself. So we don't even realize that we're doing that when we're doing it. Alright? But anyway, we continued. I didn't break it off. And there was a lot of things that I ignored, and the mistake I made was that I tried to be what I thought he would like. I tried to persuade myself into becoming the thing that he would like. I tried to mold myself into the perfect wife, for lack of better words. In a lot of aspects, and ignored who I was and what I wanted, because I was now chasing marriage with this person, and that was the only thing that was on my head. And we need to ask ourselves why we put so much importance on marriage, especially when you're young. Because if there's one thing that I learned, and even throughout our marriage, there was one thing that stood out. We changed so much together. We changed so much. And a big part of that was growing up. Because as you grow up, you change. And that's okay. And that's what I didn't understand at the time. It's okay. You change. That's okay. It's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with change. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'll get into this one in the next series. But I remember there was a lot of the times when I would ask him, like about things that he would be doing, and he would always, this was the question I used to ask: do you still love me? What is the thing that you fell in love with? And he would always refer back to that little girl. And here I was, all grown up, but you're still referring back to this 18-year-old, and that used to confuse the fuck out of me. Sorry for my language. It used to confuse me so much. And looking back now, I'm like, first things first that you need to do before you pursue a relationship, make sure that you are good with yourself. Don't put pressure on that relationship like we need to end this thing in what. Make sure that you enjoy the relationship for what it is at the time, and if it is going to become what it needs to be, you as an individual will learn, and you will see different aspects and different things showing up for you, and make sure that you are compatible in every area. Like every area. Do you guys laugh at the same things? Do you guys have the same goals and ambitions? Do you guys have the same dreams? Do you guys want to do, as you grow, you need to consider those kind of stuff, especially if you want to step into something like as serious as marriage with a person. Make sure that you guys are compatible on every single level. And it can't just be an attraction thing, because that can change. And I'll get into that, because that can change. It can't just be that we like this one thing together. No, sharing your life with somebody is so huge, it's so big, it's so broad. You need to make sure that you guys are compatible in every single area. And I didn't pay attention to that when I was younger. We were just compatible in one area, and I was determined to make it work, because we were like, we are purpose-driven, ministry all the way. This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do, ministry purpose. Let me tell you something. When you married, you leave church behind. You need to live with this person. You need to live with them day by day. You need to enjoy their damn company. You understand what I'm saying? So make sure that you guys are compatible in more than just one area. So the biggest lesson I learned from dating that time, and the thing that scares me the most now when I see young people dating, is that first things first. Can I tell you a game changer? A game changer to singleness. Don't be afraid of being alone. The minute the fear of being alone leaves you, it's a game changer. The minute that you are okay with just being by yourself, trust me, it changes everything. The minute that you are in constant pursuit of somebody, that's where you're gonna fuck up. Make sure that you are okay with being alone. Make sure that you learn how to love yourself fully. Because when you know how to love yourself, when somebody else loves you wrong, you will know that this love is not it. This is not what I asked for. I know how I need to be loved, and I need to be loved accordingly. And let me tell you something. Don't be afraid to walk away and start over. There is nothing wrong with starting over. Nothing. So be content in who you are first before you introduce another person in your life. Make sure that you are good with being alone, because the minute that you are good with being alone, at the first sign of bullshit, you can walk away easy. Because you good. You know what you want. And something that I have learned now is that you can't choose how somebody loves you, but you can choose whether you will participate in how that person loves you. You don't have to put up with bullshit. You don't have to put up with nonsense. You don't. Rate yourself, sis, and move accordingly. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. For me personally, in the dating season before my marriage, I fucked up a lot of areas. And next week I'm gonna get into the more in-depth stuff what I mean when I say that I fucked up in a lot of areas. I'm so sorry. I swear a lot now. But I messed up. I messed up a lot of areas, and but you know, those are some of the lessons that I learned. But I'll get into it again like next week. You know, some of the other things like the pressures that we put on ourselves, the unrealistic expectations that we have. You know, those, I want to say little things, but they're actually not even that little. So all that stuff that we put on ourselves, and you know what? It's okay. It's okay to be single. I think we need to throw away the stigma of being single. It's okay. And I'm even talking to myself right now in my 30s. It's okay. It's okay to be single. You don't have to put up with nonsense just because you want to share your life with somebody. At the right time, the right person will come, and they'll just fit perfectly into your narrative. That's what I want. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments section down below. If you are not yet following me, please make sure that you follow me on all my socials, Dk1original, across the board, and make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, and make sure that you put your notifications on so that you don't miss the next episode of the series. I love you guys also very much. Until next time, bye.